Alright, so I made a funny video about Hulk Hogan, but now let's like really talk about it seriously now. It's my real opinions without doing an impression and all that of how I feel about what Hulk Hogan said, and as it pertains to his firing in WWE and the whole controversy that surrounds it. Now, Hulk Hogan, what he said, no doubt was wrong. It was fucking outrageous. It really was. Basically, this was Brooke's boyfriend / sort of like a manager helping her with her fucking career, her musical career, which eventually flopped. And I don't even know how he thought that his daughter could really ascend to the top of the pop world with no musical ability. I mean, go figure. No musical fucking talent, and you think that you could just get to the top just based on auto-tune, I suppose. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that what Hulk Hogan said was just outrageous. The thing was, the comment was like from 8 years ago. It was like from fucking 2006. They kind of did the Paula Dean, digging up old shit on Hogan. And I gotta tell you, it's like, it's wrong and everything, but I can't help but feel that there's like too many watchdogs out there where they have nothing better to do than fucking attack people all day long. Now, I know this was on a radio show, and this was, a public broadcast and all that. And this is in no way meant to defend Hogan and all that. But I'm just saying, as of late, in a society where all we do is just try to find the wrongs in people and just try to get everybody in trouble. You ever hear of what they have in Philly? It's called no snitching. Well, there you go. I know it's not referring exactly to that, but what I mean is we shouldn't always be trying to get celebrities and just everybody in trouble in general. And that even speaks to society in the non-celebrity world. People get a rush out of, hearing others get yelled at or ridiculed, as long as it's not them. They feel superior when somebody else is made to feel inferior. And I guess that's the case with this recent Hulk Hogan story. Because why else? And why else would this come to light all of a sudden? This was something that happened, quite some time ago, and now it's coming to light. So, I can't help but feel that this is happening now because recent events. We've had a lot of racist stuff being brought to light now. We now know that the Confederate flag, they're getting that shit out of there. They're gonna possibly ban Dukes of Hazzards. I think it's pretty much fucking confirmed because of the use of the Confederate flag and nonsense like that. Even though it's not a racist show, there's too much of this as of late, where it's just, you see what we're trying to do here by firing Hulk Hogan. We're just trying to silence the racism, when really it should be brought to light more so it could be dealt with in a more delicate manner, or not really delicate, I want to say, but maybe an even more forceful manner. Instead of firing him, Hogan should have been able to retain his job. That's nonsense, and that just feeds into WWE's, PR bullshit with the whole PG thing. They should have had Hogan go out there like a man and apologize for what he did. A public apology from the heart, no script, no nothing like that. Should have had him come out. Not saying on Raw or anything, but they could have at least broadcasted on YouTube or something. Joined up with some affiliate, with some, news channel or something, and get it out there. Have Hogan get on there and fucking apologize and explain what he said, and do whatever you can to help the situation out, to put the fire out, But people are just, not interested in that. I guess the most logic thing to do is fire the man. Let's just keep on ridiculing him. Don't let him say his piece. I mean, come on. firing him is a bit extreme. I know many people say it's a fitting punishment. They'll say, fuck that racist, fire him and shit like that. Well, you know, I'm not saying that this is the worst decision in the world, but I think it is going a little bit overboard. And, you know, isn't there a thing called, like, statute of limitations? I know it's bad because a lot of people haven't heard what he said, and now they're hearing it. And the fact that he's such a big icon, it's the thing. He's one of the most popular wrestlers of all time, besides Stone Cold and The Rock. Hogan, you know, was champion during one of the most popular times in wrestling history. I believe the ratings for wrestling were even higher during the 80s than they were during the Attitude Era. So, wrestling was pretty fucking huge. And that was a time when Hogan was on the top, when he was the face of the company. So, for this to happen to Hogan, you have generations and generations of people who are just there with their jaws hanging. You know, the jaws drop. They can't fucking believe, like, what he said. But the thing was, back to statute of limitations, what he said was quite some years ago. And doesn't that account for anything? I mean, the fact that he didn't just say it, he said it years ago. You know, but then again, look at Paula Deen, for example. You know, this is why there is nothing black and white. I don't care what anybody says, or anybody makes the argument that, you know, there's absolutes. No, there's no absolutes or anything like that in life. And the situation is a perfect example. This is a situation that can be analyzed from different perspectives. And, I mean, really, the decision's really up to WWE what they want to do. That's how they interpreted the situation, because they're all worried about public relations. Even though they had a bullying campaign, and all they do is have bullies on the show. And then they're helping out terminally ill children, but then Vince McMahon is making fun of JR's Bell's palsy. Yeah, so you kind of see why things are not so black and white. Really interesting. Really fucking interesting. You know, there's no way of really going about this in just a real streamlined fashion. You could really just stand here like I'm doing and just try to analyze this situation all day and how we should feel about it. Thing is, everybody has different feelings, different emotions, different reactions to different situations. So, you know, however you feel about this really depends on you as an individual. You know, yes, racism is a really bad thing. There's nothing good about it. There's no way of interpreting it as good or healthy or anything like that. No, it's bad. It's something we shouldn't have. You know, but thing is, it's like, how do you deal with this situation? Do you just try to nip it in the butt like that and just fucking fire the man? You know, no explanation, no nothing. It's kind of like a really lazy way of dealing with the situation, in my opinion. Oh, he said something racist? Oh, that's real simple. We'll just fire him. I mean, that really doesn't solve any problems. I mean, is everybody supposed to be like, oh, thank God he got fired? Well, that really solves that situation. I mean, you know, come on. That's not really helping anything. It's not helping anybody. And, you know, I don't know. I think the best way is just to have Hogan apologize. Let him keep his job. I mean, he doesn't deserve to be fucking fired. I mean, is that how it is in life? I mean, if anybody, say you're not a celebrity, and you say something, they find that you said something racist before you even got hired at that job. I mean, should that person get fired? I mean, I guess because, you know, the message could reach more people because he's famous. But I don't even really know what to think in this situation. All I know is it's wrong what he said, but dealing with the situation, that's something different, totally different entirely. I mean, I really don't know what they should have done in this situation. It was wrong, but Hogan should apologize. And, you know, the thing is, we could dance around it all day, and that's pretty much what people are doing. They don't even know how to feel about this. You know, like, people are having different opinions. You know, and the thing is, I've noticed people have a really big sense of humor about this. I don't even really think they care that much. I hear most people joking about it, posting, memes. I've reposted of Hulk Hogan holding the Confederate flag, which is pretty fucking hilarious, I think. And, some people might find that offensive. But I think most people are finding a true sense of levity in this situation, which kind of shows that I think the firing is a bit extreme. I think people have a better sense of humor of offensive things right now. And what Hulk Hogan said wasn't in jest at all. What he said was pretty hurtful. And the fact that he admitted that he's a little racist, somebody of Hulk Hogan's stature saying that is just, that's why it's like, is WWE wrong for reacting in the way that they did? I don't think they should have fired him. Watching people will say that I'm racist because I'm saying that, but that's the fact. I don't think that the guy should lose his job for, making a mistake or, that he made years ago. And even if that is how he really feels, I don't know. There's no way of really getting out of this, really. If you see what I mean, like when you talk about this, even I'm saying like it sounds wrong, but you know what I mean? There's no real good way of talking about racism. And, that's why I think WWE just said fire him, because they didn't even want to deal with this shit. Oh, okay, so, you're going to keep him on WWE, so that means that, you support what he said because he's still working for you. And if you fire him, that means you want to distance yourself. But then again, you're lazy because you don't want to take the time to, associate yourself with what Hulk Hogan said and, try to, better the situation. So that's what I mean. You could go on about it all day, and this is really even longer than I wanted to discuss this topic. But, here you go. Just want to throw a couple ideas out there, tell you how I feel about it. This is just basically a catch-22 in the end. There's no good way of going about it. There's no way of really getting around this one.